Hello friends, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a different kind of card tutorial, one that I haven't filmed before, using some different products that you don't quite see all the time. So, combination between the two. Today I've decided that I wanted to make a Valentine's Day card with some supplies that I've had in my stash for a while but haven't quite had enough time to play with, and so I thought today would be the perfect day to do that. I have the Sizzix triplets dies that have the little flags in them. You can kind of see I've cut out all of these already on my Sizzix just to save some time, and you can kind of see some of the different patterns here. Now to start off with, I've already finished a few of them and they're already drying, but to save time I went ahead and did that so that we can get through this video tutorial a little bit quicker than normal. So today what I have are the Pearl Ex pigment powders, and they come in these little containers with various colors. The sets that I have Series 1 and Series 2, and they come in boxes like this. Or I'm sure they have individual ones at the store. This is just what I found. So they come in individual packages like that with various colors. I think they have like 40 different colors or something like that. Today what I'm going to be doing is using a range of the purple and pinks. And I'm going to do a flag banner on my card. So to start off with, I'm just cleaning off my brush here. I have a simple old paintbrush. I've already got the tags cut out like I said, and my Versamark ink pad. Now if you haven't used one of these before, the Versamark is a watermark stamp pad. It's basically a glue pad. So to get the embossing powders, or not the embossing powders, but the Pearl Ex pigment powders onto the flags and have them bind to that, it has to have something to stick to. So I'm just flipping my flags upside down into my glue pad here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So just flipping them upside down into my glue pad, making sure that I get all the area covered with the glue, and setting that down on my non-stick craft sheet. Now doing something with embossing, gluing, inking, whatever, I always want to use a non-stick craft sheet, just because you can take a baby wipe and wipe whatever glue and whatever else you have stuck to the mat. You can wipe it right off. That includes like paint, inks, sprays, whatever. This mat is awesome and by far one of my favorite products that I own. So let's get started. Again, I have this glued with the Versamark, and these are what the pigment powders look like. Let me just kind of show you. There we go. This one's a purple color, and they come in these little jars. They're resealable. It's very cool. So I've just got an old paintbrush here, and you stick the paintbrush in, and you don't have to use very much. And I'm just kind of spreading this powder around until I get kind of the look, the consistency that I'm going for. Now, one project or one point that I would like to make is, if you want, you can do it once, and then you can heat it up with your heat tool. You can go back in with your Versamark, re-ink it, and apply a second coat if you're wanting a thicker layer of the pigment powder. Say, for instance, you had one area that didn't get the pigment powder stuck to it the first time. Don't be afraid to go back over with your glue and re-ink it. Now, since I'm doing this with the flags, I'm not really worried about covering all the areas, because the look that I'm going for when I'm finished, I'm applying a glossy accents over the top to kind of make my own glossy chipboard-like pieces for the card that we'll be making today. So once I'm done with that, just make sure you want to reseal your pigment powders before you do your heat tool, because you don't want that blowing all over the place. So again, like I said, just wipe it off with a baby wipe and you're good to go. So I've got my little tweezers here that I'm going to hold my flag with while I'm drying it, just so that I don't burn my fingers. And I'm going to heat this up real quick. Okay, so it's pretty quick and easy, and you can just brush over whatever doesn't get heated up, and then if you want, you can blow off the rest that doesn't get heated up with the paintbrush. For this tutorial, I'm not going to do that. I am going to use glossy accents to cover the top of my flag, so again I can make these chipboard pieces. Now if you haven't used this, this acts like a glue. It also seals it and it dries clear. It just gives the flags the dimension that I'm looking for my project. So this is pretty quick and easy. You just do a simple outline with the glue and then fill it in and set it aside to dry. Now since this is the reason why I've already done 3 of them before, just so that this video wouldn't be 2 hours long, because you do have to wait for the glossy accents to dry, and since I have to do that, I wanted to go ahead and get a head start. So I'm just doing a really simple outline and filling in the flag here with the glue. Now it will spread out a little bit, so you don't have to be, you know, fill in every little nook and cranny. The glue will spread about pretty quickly. So there's flag number 1 for you, 4 for me, and I'm just going to push this off to the side to dry. Happens. One thing that I forgot to mention that you saw happen with the 4th flag that we made, the glossy accents got a little too close to the edge of the flag, and that's why the glue started spilling off. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it can, as you saw. That's yet another reason why I love working on the nonstick craft sheet, because I just wiped it up with a baby wipe and I'm ready to go again. So I'm going to work on my 5th flag here. Again, just inking that up with the Versamark. Getting a nice good coat of the glue on there. So we're pretty good. I'm going to close that because I'm done with the Versamark and I'm done with that. And I'm going to use my 5th color of Pearl X pigment powder. And again, just to clean off the brush, just clean. You can clean it off on a baby wipe, you can clean it off on your hand, your jeans, whatever you want to use. I just kind of use my hand. Now this is more of a red color, which is okay. After I get this done, I might use this in a different project. This is a little bit more of a red color than I'm wanting, simply because the rest of my flags are more of the light pink, light purple, dark purple colors. So this will be good to use on the one that I want to use, dark reds and silvers and golds. So I'm going to go ahead and make this one and glue it, but then I'll come back and I'll pick a different color of pigment powder to go with the purple and pink color scheme that I have going on here. So I'm going to finish this up, make another flag, and then I'll be back when my flags are dry and we can continue working on our Valentine's Day flag card. Okay, so we're back and my flags are finally dry. They look amazing. They have a metallic shimmer to them because of the Pearl X powders, and then over the top we went over the top with the glossy accents, so it's a metallic shimmer with a gloss over the top. And then just for more definition, for something different, I went around the edges with some archival ink in black and jet black and just went around the edges. For the card base, I just have the standard A2 sized card, and then I've already pre-cut some, this is a textured purple cardstock that I think will look kind of cute with the flags as a different color other than red and pink. So that's going to go on the base. I'll go ahead and glue this down with my ATG gun. So we got that ready to go. And this stuff is super sticky, so one thing that I like about this is if you have a multi-layered card such as this, then it works out pretty well. And just down the center some. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and mount this to the card base. Just like so. And then I cut the paper 1/8 of an inch on both sides, or on all 4 sides. And then the third layer I also cut 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides. For the little, I'm going to make this kind of like a pennant flag type deal. So what I did is I used some baker's twine, and this is pink and white baker's twine. And I just ran it through a pile of glossy accents that again acts like a glue. And so this is glued down with the glossy accents, and you can't even tell that there's any glue on there. Another reason why I love having a bottle of the glossy accents handy. So because this is popped up a little bit higher than a standard flat card, I'm going to use some 3D foam tape as my adhesive to attach the banners to the flag line. So I just got to figure out how to arrange these on there. And I think I might do it over the card. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on foam tape because I know that I want that extra dimension on there. So I'm just going to get my scissors. And this doesn't have to be perfect either because you won't see this part. But because I have that extra added layer, I'm going to go ahead and use the foam tape as my sort of like my glue for the back of the card. And this stuff, it peels off really easy, the back, and it's super sticky. This is stuff that they say you can even hang to walls, so I'm pretty sure a paper card will work out okay. So I got that all popped up on the tape. And we'll flip that over because this is going to be the top of the card. And I think it's looking really cool with the purple background, especially once you see it with these flags. So I've kind of got a pattern, and they're all different sized flags, but I used 3 different colors so that it would have more of a patterned look. And I'm going to arrange them like high, low, kind of like that, I think. And then I have one of the envelope punches that I will make my own individual envelope for this because the flags are going to hang off of the sides. So I like it like that, like every other one. So I'm just going to flip these over and add some foam tape to the back. And this foam tape fits perfectly. Like I don't even have to trim this down because the size of the flags just work out. I think the longest part of the card for this one is waiting for the glossy accents to dry that you've put on the pennant flags. So I'm just going to arrange these first before I stick them on there so I know exactly where I want the individual flags to go. Gives me more of an idea. So I think something like that will work. Again, this is a pretty simple card, nothing too extreme. All it is just using the Versamark with whatever kind of pigment powder you have, If you don't have pigment powder, you can use embossing powder and then use the glossy accents over the top of that. Waiting for that to dry and then just popping it up on foam tape. So there's pretty much the base of the card. And then I'm going to do a little sentiment. See how cute that is? I'm going to do a little sentiment that's just in a flag shape. I think I'm going to heat emboss that. So let me find some of my supplies and I will be back to show you how to do a heat embossed image. Okay, so I got back out the textured cardstock that I had as part of the layer on the card. And I haven't tried to heat emboss on textured cardstock before, so I wanted to try that today. I just have a simple Valentine's Day set with little sentiments on it. This one specifically says Cherish. So I'm going to go back in with my Versamark ink, stamp this up with the glue. Make sure I have a really nice layer. And I'm just going to simply stamp the word Cherish on there. And then I have some white detail embossing powder. That I'm going to pour over the top. Okay, so you can kind of see that it came out okay. I'm just going to dump this back in my little container. You can use a container, you can use a coffee filter, you can use a cupcake tin, you can use whatever you like. I just had a spare card handy, so I'm going to scoop the rest of this up and go ahead and close that up. And then what you do is you heat set it, but before you do that you want to make sure you get all the powder that you don't want glued on there off. Before you use your heat tool. And so you'll know that it's done when, sorry guys, that was my phone. You'll know that it's done when you can kind of see the difference in the colors. So let me see if I can get this on camera here. You'll be able to see that it kind of melts into the paper. It'll change colors to kind of a clear gloss. So I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but it's usually pretty quick. But again, that's my sentiment, Cherish. So I'm just going to cut this out with my Fiskars cutting press or cutting board, whatever you call this thing. I'm going to cut it out and I'm just going to eyeball it because I'm going to end up cutting it up a little bit anyways. Okay, so that's my little sentiment here. And I'm just going to make it into a little pennant flag to match the other flags I have on there. So to do that, you just cut straight down the center. You can't see that, so hold on. Let me zoom back out. So I'm just cutting straight down the center, and then you line up your scissors to the middle of that cut on both sides. And just like that, you have your own little handmade flag. And you can do that with those too. I just happen to have a punch set to do that with, so I didn't have to hand cut all of mine. It just makes it a little bit easier. So I have that on there. I think I'm going to pop this up with some more foam tape too. And I'm going to put this over on the left hand side of the card. Let me zoom in so you can see that. So I'm going to pop that up on some more foam tape. And once you get a roll of foam tape, you'll be obsessed with stamping and gluing and everything you will want to use your foam tape for. So forewarning, if you get foam tape after this video, you'll be obsessed with it just like I am. So that looks kind of cute there. So there's the front of our card. And then on the inside, I'm just going to stamp up a sentiment. And I gotta find that real quick. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I just used the rest of that purple scrap and tape it to the inside of the card just because I had it, and I kind of like to use my scraps if I can. And this is just a sentiment that says Happy Valentine's Day. Just something simple to where you can still add your little message to the inside of the card. So I'm going to clean that off. And then I just stamped that with archival ink. You don't have to stamp it in a permanent ink. Again, that was just what I had on my table. And that completes today's card tutorial for another Valentine's Day inspired card. Be sure, if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will also post all of a link to all of the supplies that I used in the tutorial today. And that is it for now. I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.